What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. I'm Jack. I'm your host. We're on episode number 37, and with me I have Brian. I got Flock. I got Scott. How are you gentlemen tonight?
Okay.
Mondays suck.
I like Monday. Happy Monday.
But it's St. Patrick's Day.
I don't. Yeah. This is
got a
as
Guinness.
St. Patrick's Day as I'm getting today.
Flock, is that a Yingling?
No, it's a Guinness.
Yeah, it's a Yingling flight.
Just so I can wear a green shirt.
Yeah. Mondays are a little rough, but we got Swoo to talk about, bro.
That's
we got
fair.
a new set
That's
out.
fair. That's that's the plus side.
I mean, I'm overall, we got to play some games recently. I'm overall enjoying this set.
Oh yeah.
And even
Yeah,
when set 3 came out, even like the non-competitive stuff, like I know when a set comes out, everybody tries everything, right?
Yeah.
Because it's new. But set 3, I felt like immediately was just like, okay, it's very clear that nothing's super good aside from like the generic leaders in the set. Whereas this, I'm like, man, there's a lot to like explore and kind of learn. The pilot stuff is like learning a new game a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's definitely been a lot of fun. Just playing like the pilot leaders and determining when you're actually going to deploy them as a pilot versus deploy them on the ground. Just as leader with the stats. Interesting nuance there. Keeping yourself from getting blown out in the piloting game is also like a fun little mini game that you have to play in the middle of the game.
Yeah. And you got to, I mean, I think you did it to somebody else too, but you hit me for like 12 at one point with the, just the Falcon.
Yeah, like 12 and 14. Just like, oh yeah, the Falcon's just swinging twice for game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to deal with. Yeah, definitely need to make sure your deck has answers for that. Because if you don't have an answer for the piloting, it's going to be a rough one.
Yeah, piloting can get fast.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast. If left not well interacted with, and obviously you can put something in space, but then if they drop a pilot on it and then you can't trade into it, all of a sudden that's like you're not really interacting all that well with it. But you need answers beyond just dropping a comparable space unit because they're going to get bigger.
It's not just adding Bright Hope or Conquered Dawns to your deck. Like you need a little bit more. Those obviously still help. Like those are still good.
Yeah, no, those you kind of need. But I think what was Brian, when we played, was it when we played on stream or off stream, one of the two, like the Conquered Dawn? Yeah, the pilots allowed me to actually get through the Conquered Dawn defenders way more effectively than I would have been able to without them. With the shield, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was Lando, so like.
Yeah. Well, Lando was given the shields.
Yeah, Lando was given the shields. You chewed through a lot faster than I was expecting to, but yeah, the pilots make a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm.
And space is one of those things that was kind of, it had an established presence before, but now it's just up to the next level. So things are getting big.
Yeah, I am curious how, like, we do have some events coming up. I know the Boston Invitational in Atlanta, it's like a 10K weekend. I forget the exact layout of everything, but it's probably the first big event until we get to like sectors and regionals. And then I believe the Milan sector event is also like the first weekend of April, or 2 weeks away or something like that. I'm just curious as to I don't know, how big of a splash of pilots are they going to make? Because almost when I'm teching my deck, I'm not teching for pilots yet, because the best decks, in theory, I feel like aren't pilots.
Are not pilot decks. Yeah.
Yeah. They might have pilots in them, but I wouldn't it's not a Poe or a Wedge or, a Han type deck.
I think the amount of piloting is going to happen is going to be just as much as your normal removal. Because a lot of times the pilots, you put them in takedown, you might take them out of takedown range, but then they're in fell range, or some people just still have confiscates in their deck. So I still feel like the amount of piloting going to be in the deck, in the decks now, you still have the cards already to kind of deal with it.
Well, actually, fell is non-leader.
Yeah, well, if it's a leader, but we were just talking about decks that aren't piloting piloting. So
yeah, I mean it's like, because as soon as you start packing, nobody's running confiscates right now, right? You're all trying new cards and trying to build a best generic 60. Bamboozles probably make their way in naturally. you see some Fang fighters, but I'm curious how much hate ends up getting packed in and
Mhm.
if it makes a difference. Because yeah, I mean like confiscates like even sideboard, it's that like that's fine and stuff, but it's like it's a dead card into Django, into Han, into Voss, into Piet.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's fine against Kaz, but Kaz almost goes so fast that like he's deploying at 4. He could just like he could hit you if he hits you like even just once for like 10. That just might be
Yeah,
the
you kind of
game.
need that card in the opening hand.
Yeah, he's also fine deploying the ground and blanking everything from there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you just named a bunch of decks that are clear, clear candidates for strong competitive decks. Some of them were already known quantities. But yeah, you just named a bunch of decks that are not featuring many, if like any pilots in some cases. Like they might have like the arbitrary pilot in there that they're not even going to use as a pilot.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to just start seeing how these like events start rolling in. I've just been playing like everything.
I'm glad our event's on the 26th as opposed to.
Yeah, we're the end of.
We're the end of it. Like I don't want to be what I wouldn't want to be necessarily is the first one.
Yeah, especially like a big. Like I would love if we had a local store that had like a 1K in the next like week or two. That would be a blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, prepping for a sector like. I mean, but that's gonna be Worlds, I guess, for us, right? That's gonna be like 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after.
Yeah, that's how it is. You just gotta kind of glom onto something and then hope that you're right.
Yeah, dude, it'll be. I mean, not even like really a thought, but like it'd be super crazy if like Django dominates and then it's like set 5 comes out and Django's banned or something. Something along those lines, depending on how PQ season goes. Or Han, Han's still very good as well too.
Yeah,
it could be Worlds could be wild.
Yeah, there's definitely like a possibility that one of those leaders just zooms out front of everything and is just too oppressive. It's possible.
Yeah. All right. I mean, so we'll talk a little bit more about the cards that like we've been playing or the decks we've been playing in a little bit. We'll be talking about some just things we might have overrated, things we might have underrated. But one of the first things I want to talk about is the 3 of you got to do a pre-release all at the same store. So just curious about that. I was away for work, so I didn't get to do the pre-release other than the one that we recorded, and I don't remember what I played.
Your faux pre-release.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm
you
trying
played
to remember
Akbar.
what I played against.
Yeah, who did I played you, Flock?
You didn't play Vader.
No, that was Shane.
Yeah, Shane played
Brian
Vader.
played Rose.
Brian played Rose.
I was obligated to play Rose, yeah.
Yeah, I forget who you
contractually obligated to play Rose.
Yeah. Yeah, when you pull the showcase, yeah.
Who did you play?
Who I played.
You could look it up on stream.
Yeah,
we could. I don't really care that much, but
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I'm more curious about your guys' because you guys actually did it at a store like with other people, a larger like field of things. So just curious to your guy, whoever wants to kick off, like cards you played, what you liked, things that didn't work well, things that surprised you, how well it worked.
We should either start at the top or start at the bottom.
I don't know which way that is. So
Flockton, I think, is the bottom.
Top.
And Brian's the top. I'm in the middle either way.
Well, am I going first?
You're going first, Flockton.
Okay, Flockton start.
Yeah. Oh, I have no clue what's going on. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, by the way, you played Asajj, Jack.
I did. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you were doing that pinging stuff. So yeah. So I ended up playing Akbar again. I didn't want to, but I got a bunch of really good like hero cards, and then I drew almost all villain. And I was gonna play Han, but then I looked at my odd cost. I didn't have enough odds, so I was like, I'm not gonna play Han then. So, which is very odd. He's very tough to play in. Like we were talking about it in that limited format. It's tough to play Han. So he's very tough to get through. But so I played Akbar. Yeah, I was just trying fun. I was just trying to play new cards. I wasn't going too crazy. I think I went 1 and 2, 1 and 3. So no crazy plays that really happened that I can remember. I just know that like my deck was terrible. Akbar is good at like stopping some good stuff, big stuff, but if they don't really play a lot of big stuff, you can really your ability's kind of dead. So yeah, I don't think I pulled any legendaries. Nothing crazy. And that was it.
Average day in the life of Flockton.
Yeah.
Average day. Fuck.
And then you had some like crazy pizza afterwards.
Dude, the pizza. Mmm.
Would you walk across the parking lot again to that
Yeah.
same place?
Yeah.
I had like a chicken parm pizza.
Yeah.
That was good last time we went.
Oh, it was
I mean, that was
good.
a long time ago.
It's like one of the. It's almost like a deep dish, but you get like pasta dishes inside the pizza.
Slices are thick.
They are little disconcertingly thick.
Nah. Perfect.
All right, so I guess I had the next up. I did pull legendary. I pulled a Profundity, which is terrible to play in sealed. You just do not get to 9, even if you pull also a few of those. What are they called? The resupply carriers. Even if you pull a few of those, you're just still not getting to 9. I think I got to 9 one game, and even then, I had it in my hand, and it was not the call to deploy. But I played Wedge just because I wanted to play Wedge, and I pulled Wedge, and I did pull a fair bit of pilots. Like I pulled a Luke. I pulled some good. I pulled like 2 blue leaders, so I had like some good stuff in there as well. Went 2-1, only lost to another Wedge, and the reason that I lost was that he opened up like Phoenix Squadron A-Wing into Luke, and I did not open up into anything. I think I deployed like a pilot to the ground, so it was a little bit of a different opening, but it worked really well. Like went nice and like my deck seemed like really fast. Like I got in under one guy. He had pulled a Devastator and a planetary bombardment. So he was running Boba Fett with that. So like obviously you just kind of needed to close out the game before like that combo was going to hit you, because you're just getting blown up by the indirect damage at that point. And we played twice just because we had some extra time, because the first game went pretty quick and I was able to like sneak in under it. So worked out pretty well. Wedge was pretty efficient, even though I didn't have like the obvious piloting combos that you would normally get in a constructed deck, and obviously not like the ships to pilot, but worked out. You just put them on any vehicle, any capital ship that you had, whatever. What about you, Brian? I hear you pulled a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, I did. I pulled one of each color legendary. This
Shocker.
This pre-release was pretty fun. I had some good options, right? So I pulled an Executor, I pulled a Devastator, I pulled, but no Piet. So I didn't go that route. I pulled a Han, and I pulled a Ghost. So with the leader choices that I had, it was between Han, Akbar, or Rose. And I was like, you know what, I'll just run it back with Rose. That's fine. So Rose with the Ghost and Han Solo. I pulled a Mandalorian unit. I pulled a couple of electromagnetic pulse. I pulled some direct hits. So I was really making people angry because it turns out when you turn your Ghost into like a 7/9 Sentinel and you can heal it for 2 every turn, people kind of get angry about that. Especially when the whole set is space related. So, yeah, I kind of wall people out and removes a lot of stuff and exhausts a lot of stuff. And I, with the Mandalorian unit, people were annoyed. It was fun. It was a good time. So I went 3-0.
Did any of you play each other?
No, it was great.
It was very surprising.
Yeah.
How many people were there?
12? 12-ish?
Oh wow.
13. One guy showed up late. So yeah, there's a 13th guy.
Was Shane there?
Yeah.
Man, so 5 of you, 13
And we
people.
we didn't play each other.
And
Yeah.
we played each other.
It's great.
Didn't Shane also go 3-0?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we only played 3 rounds, so there was 2 undefeated. But yeah, so it worked out pretty well.
I think he played Boba.
He did play Boba.
Yeah, Boba seems like a generic good.
Yeah, Boba is like the obvious call between Boba and Han, because Boba works all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Fox said, Han's so weird to make work in this format. Draft, yeah, limited, or sealed. No, not really.
I mean, I would just play him. Like when you were debating between Akbar and him, I feel like I would just play him and just be like, all right, I have
I was thinking about it. I was
a
very
3/7
close.
rebel like leader on ground turn 5,
Yeah.
and if I need space, then I can go space. And
Yeah.
I think if I don't reset anything, I don't reset anything.
Yeah, that's
I was tempted to do it, but I was determined to see if I can get Akbar to to work, and he's not
Snack bar,
good.
snack bar.
He's not good. Yeah.
But he rides a scooter.
There's a reason why his showcase is
Oh,
below
snap,
60
he
now.
shreds.
Yeah,
There's a
dude,
reason.
all the showcases. Like I even 3 out of 4 of us.
Yeah.
Full rows, and I was just like immediately like,
What's up with that?
I'm not
I
gonna
know.
play her. I'm gonna list her on TCG Player, and like when I listed her, she was like 80.
Mm-hmm.
I checked the next morning, it's like 50. I was
Yep.
like, oh.
Yeah, that's
When
I
you
mean,
get
I
that
guess
low,
I'll
I'm like,
keep
do I
her.
just keep it? But I
Yep.
was like, nah, it's gonna. Well, for me, I was like, it's gonna collect dust. I don't know. I'll never play her.
It might make it back here one day. I don't know. Possibly.
Yeah.
This used to be like my bad showcases, and now it's all
What's there now? I can't even really.
Anakin and Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan, but I
Nice.
haven't built right now. So
Yeah, I can like faintly see the empty stand.
yeah, that was where Obi-Wan used to sit.
Obi-Wan's was.
Yep. Obi-Wan's was.
Cool. I mean, just any like general like less so about your deck, more so about like general pre-release like vibes of like how do you feel like it played compared to the sets 1, 2, 3 like pre-releases?
It felt good. I mean, I think that this was more fun than set 3. Kind of a low bar, but
I mean, I liked set 3's pre-release and limited. I was fine with it. Was set 2 that was like the one that was a little rough, like where people were playing like Ray and games were just going to time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This feels a lot more lethal. Just with how some of the space units can get. There's not a lot of restore in the set. There's some amount of Sentinel, but not like a crazy amount of Sentinel. So it's not like unless you got a Rose healing ghost type thing going on. That's a whole different ball game.
I had enough to play 2 games every time though, too. So like, it wasn't like I was stalling the game out.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying in the sense of like that's really like
it for like restore
being walled out.
My game against D House that we played, it was like we were both Ray or something, and then like I played like 2 Sundaris, 3 Clone Deserters. Like not only did my leader have restored 2 or whatever, it was just like your whole deck could. Whereas I feel like that's just not the case anymore.
I think there's there's a little bit of healing in this set. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, there's that neutral blue capital ship. There's like Hera.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Corvus.
Leia.
Corvus heals?
Corvus has got restored too.
Restored too.
Corvus doesn't have restore too.
Yeah, outside of them, I'm not really sure.
You got that ship that on defeated heals base.
Yeah, that was the blue neutral one.
Mm-hmm.
That also has restored too on it or something.
Does it?
I think what makes it go faster is also the
Oh, you're talking about
indirect.
Onyx Squadron. Onyx Squadron Brute when defeated heal 2.
I was talking about the capital ship. The single aspect like
It's not
5
for
or
the
6
car.
costs.
What was that called?
It's not the car.
It's like the
cargo
relief,
runner.
relief.
The relief runner.
Cargo runner, yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty big. I mean, that thing can heal up to 5. So that's like your really big healing thing. But there's really not that much in this set that allows you to play those types of games. So I think it was definitely a better sealed environment than set 2. And
no leader has it, right? That no leaders have restore.
Don't
I think so.
Yeah.
I have to double check, but I don't.
Yeah, no.
I'm thinking of any of them.
No leader has restore.
Yeah.
All damage.
I actually. So we haven't done a draft of this yet, but I mean, it was funny that you said that because actually,
Whose
Brian, I
fault's
think
that?
set 3 is my favorite. I know.
Whose fault is it? Yours? It was yours this time?
No, the other people that we do the event with, I tried to get them to do the weekend before, but they couldn't, and it was because of like their kids' schedule. And I was like, I felt like being a jerk to be like, no, you have to miss your kid's basketball tournament or something, so I can play card games the next weekend. But set 3, I think, might have actually been my favorite of like the limited formats.
Yeah.
Because set 2 was like what we said. Set 1, I think, had a really good draft, but I didn't love pre-release because people just like could very easily like default Vader and just like run you over. Like if they pulled like one ramp card in their packs, They just played Vader, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, obviously Boba's significantly stronger than Han, but he's not, running you over the way that Vader could as far as deploying as a unit.
Yeah.
Has a little bit more requirements to get that extra damage off, not just attacking and killing things.
Yeah. Yeah, and then set 3, I guess Grievous was like just a little awkward. I mean, there's a bunch of droids in the set, obviously, but it was like he couldn't just be generically played. He just kind of needed. But I think about actually the difference now. If you could have pulled Grievous's wheel bike in set 3 packs and played Grievous leader, that would have been a pretty nasty deck.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
that's
a 3/8 or something.
It's kind of like piloting.
6/3/8, and then you slap that on him. He's a 6/11 with overwhelm.
reverse piloting.
Yeah, reverse piloting. Did you guys pull any of the starter cards? Like, did they come into play at all? Like much? I know they're pretty rare.
I pulled the shuttle Tidarium, but didn't play it.
Yeah,
I just didn't play.
Yeah, that's one of the sadder ones, I guess.
Yes, yeah. If I pulled, like some other stuff, there's other things that I would rather have pulled.
Yeah, like Chewie Falcon.
Yeah,
Fire Spray.
Those would be a little ridiculous. You're like, all right, sure.
Even House, yeah.
Basically everything but the shuttle Tidarium.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the? Well, I guess the yellow event's kind of awkward too.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. You both discard 3 cards and deal damage for each odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not breaking the bank.
No. Well, cool. So overall, we would say pre-release success.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Next, I mean, we're going to talk about just how we approached buying this set and kind of our post reflections going into set 5. Keeping in mind also set 5, you're going to need cards fast as well because we'll have Worlds 2-3 weeks later. But yeah, they introduced Carbonite boxes now, and so that was like a new way to buy things and approach like
sure did.
collecting. I mean, my experience was I was pretty happy with it. I got 2 Carbonites and a case of regular boxes, and 2 Carbonite felt pretty good to me. I think I would scale back on the regular boxes now, so I might do like 2 Carbonite and then like 3 boxes or something along those
But like
lines.
you just said, we might need cards quickly next
time. I know that was so yeah,
maybe
that'll be
next
the tough part.
maybe next set isn't the set to do it, but
I'm set 6 is when I'll be financially responsible.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the same place as you, where I got a case of the regular, and then I got a Carbonite box, and I'm thinking, and I bought like few loose Carbonite packs. I probably bought like another half box of Carbonite just we were at the store and impulse buys. But I'm kind of where you're at, where it's probably going to be 3 boxes of the regular, and then 2 boxes of Carbonite. And in the end, FFG actually just gets me for a little bit more money in total, between that than just one case. So kudos to them. They sucked me into another
to get more. Yep.
$100 spend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or you could be like Brian.
Don't feel too bad, Scott.
and cut out regular boxes entirely.
Yeah, I think it's a nice balancing act, right? The Carbonite boxes are really cool, but a cautionary tale to you, travelers. Just because they say 1 and 2 does not mean 1 and 2 is guaranteed. So, or 1 and 4 is guaranteed. Whatever have you. I think I'm definitely gonna have to change my ratio next set. Definitely changing my ratio. We are not gonna do what I did this set. This set
Write
was
that down.
so irresponsible. Well, here's the thing, right? We're gonna be traveling for the next 3 months, right? So there's 1 in April, there's 1 in May, and there's 1 in July, and then June is just a wild card. Like there could be showdowns, there could be PQs, whatever.
Yeah, May and June are gonna be the PQ season.
We're gonna be going all over the place. It's not gonna be particularly a cheap time. So this set, it was the time to do it, right? They introduced the product.
It's hibernation.
You introduced the product. It was a long winter, right? I had the
the groundhog saw shadows, so Brian's like another case.
A Carbonite box a day keeps the depression away, or so I thought. And then
But
I
you gotta
opened
keep
them,
going
and
then. The stores are
gotta
getting
keep
restocks
going.
right now too.
No, I will not touch another Carbonite box with a 10-foot pole. Thanks very much.
I don't know. Dark Depth's selling them pretty.
No, I don't want them. I'm done. I'm
I don't
I'm
believe
done.
it.
I believe it. I'm done.
You weren't. I mean, it wasn't that like the missing a second serialized was the big thing, but like showcase, like, and it felt bad that you happened to hit
So let's
like
let's
double
recap.
showcases.
Let's recap, right? Okay, so I bought it. That's a stupid start to the story, right? I bought 8 Carbonite boxes. I streamed them live on YouTube right here on the Golden Dice podcast, and with each box, my excitement dipped just that much more, right? I even the chat was like, "Wow, this is really bad. This is an unlucky box. This is unlucky," you know. But it's my own fault. It's nobody's fault but my own, right? And at the end of the day, I still did really appreciate what I got out of the boxes, because I'm just going to show you, and this is after being picked through, but this is the amount of extra legendaries I ended up with. I mean,
It's crazy. That's like a deck right
nothing.
there.
Yeah, that's not nothing.
Like-
This is
That's
a
as
deck.
many legendaries as I have for the set.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it's probably more than that actually.
Yeah, I sent Brian a list of all the legends I need because I got all but 2. I'm like,
Yeah, and I can take care of, it's fine. I have supplied for a couple different people at this point. So like I've done that every set. I don't mind helping out the people that need extras in the community, whatever. The box of rares is just as thick, right? Like
Yep.
it's absurd. The amount of value you get from these boxes, it adds up, right? And it depends on what you're looking for too. Now I will say that the value of these cards really tanked fast. So if you're looking at any of these prestiges, and if you're looking at the base versions of them, you could get things for as low as $1.15, right? The Silver Angel is sitting at $1.15 right now. So realistically
Yeah, but
speaking,
does
no
anybody
one wants a
care?
Silver Angel. No. But say for example, you wanted a Devastator. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities to spend. It's $22.79 for a Devastator in non-foil prestige right now. That was the big hit, or that the Sideways boys are the big hits too. But I mean, you really could go and buy your own playset afterwards. It depends on how long you want to wait. Like you said, set 5 is one of those times where you will need stuff right away, but you can definitely recalibrate after this set, because even the showcases are dropping super fast. All the stuff that is like advertised getting from the Carbonite boxes, you could go a separate way and be fine. It really is up your personal preference. So what I did pull from mine, since I didn't say it, out of the 8 boxes, I got 3 showcases and 1 serialized. So I got a Corvus serialized number 27, a Lando Calrissian, and a Han Solo. None of which I plan on using. Right.
Yeah.
And I can't even really recoup because no one's gonna buy the Landos, no one's gonna buy the Rose, and the Han sunk faster than I could sell it. So like, financially speaking, I'm never gonna recover from this. But I had fun, and they're still a good product. That's all I'm saying. I can only be mad at myself for doing as much as I did. So
Yeah. It's tough when like you start to like hope that you break close to even, because you always got to expect like a lower value. And I feel like if you in general calculated like the expected value of these boxes, like it's pretty decent. And honestly, the biggest feel bad, it's got to be like the double Lando. Like if that was just like,
yeah,
I don't know, not
I
even
don't
like
care that I got a second serialized. Give
Double
me
Thrawn.
anyone but Lando.
that's what, yeah, like
Anyone but Lando.
yeah, you don't even need like one of the top ones, right? Say that's like
No.
a Wedge or like
Mhm.
a
That'll
Luke
sell.
or like something. It feels so much better.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would even taken like an Akbar. I would have loved an Akbar. I've seen and the worst is that like I watched so many in preparation for opening these Carbonite boxes. I watched a lot of breaks on YouTube. So now after I open those, the day after I was like, I don't even want to think about it. My entire feed was like opening a Carbonite case, opening it.
Your
and it's
algorithm
I
is like,
pulled
you love
6
these. Watch
Yeah.
these.
You
It's
love
like,
box breaks.
I pulled a serialized and a showcase in the same box. Wow!
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't do any of that, so
Yeah.
it's rough, but it's all good old fashioned gambling. At the end of the day, it's just a different form. So, whoops.
True. So what do you going into set 5? You need cards for Worlds. What do you think you're buying?
I'm probably gonna cut it. So I had 2 cases, a box from Deploy Your Leader, and then 8 Carbonite boxes.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, where's my box at, bro?
Hey, Ray.
All right.
On top of a lot of new accessories that dropped this set, including a Twin Suns box, I got the zip up binder, and all those things are cool. But now I think what I'm going into next set is probably going to be down to 1 case, 2 Carbonite boxes, and I will, buy whatever left I need. I just kind of hope that I get a full spread, but I'm good on these. I
What's
still
the
want to open
over-under
them.
on Brian staying at 2 Carbonites? What do we think?
It's not up to me. It's up to my bank account.
Wait, 2 carbonates or 2 carbonite cases?
Boxes. So we're at boxes.
Ooh, 2 cases.
Boxes.
I think you'll go up 2 case. I think because
Oh,
dude,
100%.
No.
this
I don't wanna-
next set, if they do the same thing where it's like the unique, like Force users, bro, he's about to go hard.
No.
All right, clip it. Clip it. Clip it.
No, because I'll tell you, I was in a deep funk on Saturday. I opened this
you
Friday
were.
night. I was
You
in a
were.
deep funk on Saturday.
He was in like a haze. We had to like twist his arm to go get the pizza with.
I had to get a cheat. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, he opened up a lot of legendaries in his pre-release, and he's like, "I needed this."
Yeah, I did. I went
I'll-
3-0, and I
I'll
was like, I needed this.
I'll say like the Carbonite boxes, they are a good maybe not opening a case of them, especially when you start to get unlucky, but like they're a good open just of themselves. Like it felt good to open a box of them because it's a smaller box. You know that you're getting like at least prestige in there. You might even get like the higher case of the showcase and whatnot. So like it was a good open. Like I enjoyed opening my Carbonite box. Whereas like sometimes opening just boxes, it feels like a little bit of a slog.
Yeah.
And the prestige cards look great too. I will say
They're
They look
awesome.
fantastic.
I'm on TCG Player right now, and I'm just about to like buy
I grabbed
play
3
sets
red
of all of them.
5s or like whatever the completes. I didn't pull any fireballs. I grabbed 3 fireballs. I
Mhm.
grabbed the visible hands, like some of the cheaper ones, because they look so good. But then, dude, that's what I mean for set 5. For like, think of some of these things.
I need to be able to fly to Vegas. So once I'm in Vegas, all bets are off. If they decide like, hey, we're gonna put them up at Worlds, and you can buy / prize ticket them. That's dangerous. I don't know. But no, I have priorities when I'm in
Yeah.
Worlds. So it's fine. I
Yeah,
can't
Brian,
I can't leave
If
without.
you win at the casino, you can make a lot more money to buy more cards.
Exactly.
True. Yeah, just spend the money early July, and then when you get to Vegas, win it back.
Yeah.
I
That's how it
can't
works, right?
I can't leave without a Vader and Luke showcase from Worlds.
Oh, of
So
course.
Both.
Yeah, it's
You need
got to.
both.
Yeah, I hope
That
I hope
comes
that's not
first.
like a catch of like there's only 1,000 or something. Like I hope it's just like
I will drop from the main.
if you
event.
grind for them. Yeah. Hey, Wednesday we're getting
yeah,
Worlds.
just
Nice,
know
yeah.
prize.
I will drop immediately.
Well, they got to break
whatever
down the
tickets they
pricing of the
give.
tournament. You got to incentivize people to keep playing too. Sometimes.
If I
Yeah,
can't make a
that's it.
Luke or a Vader from staying in however long it is, then I'm not staying.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I think that'll be a lot of people. I've already know of a lot of people that are gonna just straight up skip the main event.
I should have.
I mean, you still can. I mean, you eat the $40 or whatever.
I can't at this point.
Man,
Did you listen to the last segment?
I think you'll be all right. So the only one, Flock, do you have any FOMO? You were the
No, I
last
opened up
one.
one pack and it was dog doo doo, and I was like, I'm good.
It
What was your
bad.
prestige?
Yeah, I gave it. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even care.
You gave it to Shane.
No, I think I have the prestige.
5 minutes later.
Yeah, right.
It was Silver Angel.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
yeah,
doo-doo.
that's doo-doo.
Yeah, it was
Foil.
It's not foil.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it looked foil.
No, it's not foil.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Silver Angel's a
Yep.
little rough on that.
That's $1.25, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was my pack.
I mean, there's always going to be the cheapest. It just
Oh no, it's fine.
when there's all uniques.
Yeah, I got my case, and then I'm still short a bunch of legendaries. Although it was crazy, I got the case and like I got like 8 legendaries in one box. Then I got 6 legendaries, and then I got 5 legendaries, and I got 7, and then I got 7.
Yeah, 1 in 5 now.
Yeah,
Yep,
something like that.
they
It
up-
was like
up
insane. I
those
was like,
rates.
holy. And then
Yeah, case
Well,
you're always going to
it-
be short.
yeah.
I mean, we
And
used to
what-
get 2 cases
yeah,
and still be
that
short.
was too much. I got the 2 cases. That's way too much.
It's just
Yeah,
too
you're
much-
just like-
it's-
It
there's
Yeah.
too much extra cards.
See,
Yeah.
and the thing
I'm just
was
throwing
when
away
I-
boxes of commons and uncommons.
Like last set when I did the 2 cases, like I still was missing legendaries, but I had like I think I had like 6 Cad Banes. I think I had 8 Gores, and I was like, holy, like what, you know. And then we're trying to trade with you guys. You guys, yeah, I'm good. I have that one. We all need the same one.
But yeah, you had to go to
it's
locals
so-
to trade or just list
I
on
just
TCG
I just
Player.
rather do the case and then buy the legendaries, the rest of the legendaries, and hopefully Brian keeps buying a bunch, and I can just buy off him.
Don't count on it.
I'm gonna keep counting on it.
I need to leave my parents' house at some point. So
one day.
in this economy, though, I don't know.
All right, so that's just the kind of discussion of us open boxes, how that felt, what we think we'll do for set 5. Yeah, I think we're all kind of same boat where we want to kind of scale back, but just the timing of it makes it a little.
Yeah, I might just let
well,
the case of regular cards ride for one more set, and then I'll scale back.
Yep.
Especially, it just depends on what the set. Like this set, I was fine with the extra case because like the part of Star Wars that I like the most is the starships and the pilots.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, it's a piloting set. It's literally got my favorite characters in it, as showcases, as rares, as everything. So I was like, whatever, it's fine. Let it ride.
Every time
Yeah.
I say I'll scale back, they just make this game cooler and cooler. And
Yeah, they're gonna come out with something
Yeah.
else. There's gonna be some other card in a Carbonite pack, and you're just gonna be like,
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
need
see like you're gonna see a Yaddle Prestige next set,
Oh.
and you're like 2 cases, baby.
That's I need to serialize Yaddle.
Yeah, no, I need the 69 serialized of Yaddle is what I
Yup.
need in my life. All right,
Give
so
me
we'll
the
move
Yaddle
on
showcase.
from this discussion, and we're gonna jump into some of the cards that we overrated and underrated, right? And so this is just kind of personal, right? Like you could have said something was going to be the best card ever, and it still turned out like a decent card, but you could say you overrated that because you said it was going to be like the number 1 card in the set, and it ended up 20th, something along those lines. So all kind of personal. Does anybody want to kick this off?
Do we want
Alright,
to do
I'm-
underrated first or overrated first, or does it matter?
Whoever kicks it off decides.
Great.
all right, I'm gonna give you an overrated card.
Boom.
And I don't know if this Pilot Luke.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
So hear me out. He's a great card, but he's a little bit awkward in that he takes up the same piloting cost as your Chewbacca.
Yeah.
He's not giving you the same output as far as he's +3/+2 as opposed to Chewbacca, who is +3/+3. And he's susceptible to like the type of removal that you're most worried about when you're piloting stuff. You're not necessarily worried about your ships getting destroyed because you're giving them extra health. You're worried about your ships getting bounced. And if they bounce, Luke doesn't, he goes to the ground. It's, not the best thing. So like he's become like a 2 of in the wedge deck. Whereas I would have thought that he would have been like an auto 3 in any pilot deck. So that's really where he's coming in as like overrated just by that hair, where it's like, oh, this looks like one of the best cards in the set, to now like it's a 2 of in a deck where you would expect him to be a 3 of.
Okay. I respect it.
I'll go next.
Overrated is so hard. Sorry, go ahead, Fly.
So I got one for overrated.
Go ahead.
So for me, I guess this is more I personally overrated. I guess I personally overrated IG88. So I got to play him. I was like, oh, sweet. When you're playing the Cad Bane deck, you're always going to get +3. I know. Everything for me is Cad Bane. That's all that matters. So so like, okay, he's basically an auto +3. But, like, it's kind of those awkward things where at the 5 cost, you want it to have an effect right away. So it doesn't really have ambush or anything like that, like some of the other cards that would be in that slot. So, like, yeah, he's +3, but doesn't have any effect till the next round. So,
And what are his base stats?
he's like a 5/4,
4/5.
4/5. He's +3. So he's very, like, if you think about it, because every time you play him with Cad Bane, you're going to be pinging something, and
Yeah.
now he's 7 static the entire time. So you're like, okay, cool, this is great, but like, it just it's a little too slow.
Yeah, I mean, you did scare me because you did. Now there are 2 of them. Shocker.
Yeah,
Turn 2. Played him.
dude. I think
And
I hit
I was
base
playing
like 3
Kaz Blue,
times.
and I played my 3/5 space shuttle,
Yeah.
and I shielded it. So I was just
Yeah.
like, IG is just gonna have that +3
Oh yeah.
for the entire game.
Yeah. But like I just couldn't do anything about that. I was just
But
like,
then, yeah, it was just
yeah.
I was able to pump like too much.
yeah, I was just like, I'm sitting there hitting. I'm swinging for 7. I think I put a hot shot at one time when I was playing. When I was playing Scott, I think I put a hot shot on him, whatever, and he was hitting for 9. But like,
Yeah.
it was just, yeah.
I'll go next. I'm gonna say Chimera.
Ah.
Chibada.
I think Chimera, like, I think I saw the art. I saw like, oh, Thrawn has the when defeateds and all that, and like that's cool. It's just a little awkward. It's one of those, like, I guess, situational cards with Thrawn. But you're only playing it in Thrawn, and even then, it's like a maybe to have. Whereas like Chimera, it still looks so good. I just want to slap it everywhere, you know. I just wasn't impressed. And then when defeated on it itself, create 2 tie tokens is like meh city.
Yeah, it's half awkward that it like needs a board
Yeah,
to play, but
if you play it on its own, it has no effect at all, pretty much.
I did have somebody 3 resources play Cobb Vanth, 4 resource turn. I don't remember what they did, but they rammed Cobb Vanth into something. They pulled out a Krennic and a Val, and then at 5 resources they played that, and then double triggered Val, and then Krennic was a 6/6 shielded.
Yeah, I
And
did.
I was just like, okay, that's
was-
a pretty.
I was playing earlier and I did the same. I, chimeraed onto a Val and I'm like, all right, that's amazing.
Yeah, but it was like outside of like that. Like I
That
get
one
because I played some Throne decks and I was like, wow, Chimera just kind of feel like I felt like I was resourcing a lot, but I get I get what you're saying.
I think its redeeming factor is that it's also a capital ship for planetary bombardment.
Yeah,
I think that definitely helps it in that blue red deck, Thrawn deck. But I can definitely see what Brian's saying, where you think, again, it's another one of those cards where you think it's going to be stapled to the leader, and you're kind of like, I want it, but maybe I only want 2 of it.
yeah.
Agreed.
All right, mine are intent. I have a leader, so I was like told everybody try to get to 3 of each. So I got a leader and 2.
I got more, baby.
Well, I know Flock might know 3 cards in the set.
Yeah, that's true. Big true.
So I'm intentionally spicy, and mine's similar to what Scott said. Where like it's still a really good card. You just thought it was gonna be like 3x in all of them. Mine, we just mentioned planetary bombardment. A little bit overrated for myself because I thought it was going to be still a good card, still amazing, still going to work in the decks that want it. But like I've been playing a lot of Boba 4 yellow, and I was like, bro, indirect. Even if like I'm paying 6 to do 9 basically with Boba's ability. Like
Nice.
some really, really nasty things.
Nasty.
But now I'm even cutting this because like outside of like Piet Red that can like cheat a Raider at 5 and then bombardment at 6, it's just like been a lot more narrow than I expected it to be. Still amazing, still really good, still just wins games. I also love it because it just like dunks on these like non-unit blue villain decks that were so annoying in the first 3 sets.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're not playing anything? Fine by me.
Here's indirect to base.
Yeah, it's like overwhelming barrage. Shit, that doesn't really do anything against you because you're just gonna kill the thing or exhaust the thing or whatever. It's like, well, all right, this is just putting it through.
Yep.
House call.
So yeah, obviously still amazing card, but I was just trying to think of things that I thought was going to be like, yeah, like you said, 3x in a deck, but now it's not even in my Boba deck, and even in like Piet, it's come down to 2. But I haven't played a lot of Piet Red anymore. I've been playing a lot more blue, which also like kind of speaks to it. It was like I thought Piet Red was going to be insane, but now I'm just like, I don't think Devastator, Bombardment, Raiders better than just like blue removal and Avenger and Fleet Interdictor and even a one of Annihilator.
Oh, nice.
It worked. Somebody played a Starhawk, and I responded, and I was like, "You're not playing all these cards for for free," and discarded 2 other Starhawks. It was great.
I'm gonna do my other 2. It's gonna be the droids. It's gonna be R2 and BB-8. R2, like, great card, piloting for free. Has saved me a couple times, Jack. Right? I've played the perfect R2 at the perfect time.
Yeah.
To get that
Get
squeak at
me
that
out.
one more point of HP that I've had, but
Yeah.
I run out of hand so fast if I'm just plopping a +1 down, right? And it doesn't always feel amazing. A lot of the time it goes into resource, but like having another pilot on it could be cool. I just find that it doesn't really do as much as I'd hope for. I mean, it's still good. I was just hoping it'd be a little tougher. And then as far as BB-8 goes, I think BB-8 has a strong ability when you up attach them as an upgrade. But I think the resistance cards that we saw, like, there's just not a big enough pool for me to care currently.
Yeah.
I mean, if you load up Black 1, that's something. I mean, Poe unit obviously is great to reset, but like, it's so situational, and it's not. It's. I feel like if I get him turn 1, I'm like, I'm just gonna dunk him into the row. So I wanted him to be a little more potent than he is. They are. I don't know if droids do gender.
They do.
They do.
Okay.
Didn't you watch Solo?
Oh, true. I try to forget about that part as much as I can, actually.
What, Lando?
Lando doing weird...
Doing things to his droid.
Yeah, weird thing droids. It works.
Hey, man.
Says L3. It works.
So do you not think, like I get BB-8. I think that's very fair. But R2, to me, feels like a 3 of in most of the pilot decks. Do you feel like he's not as much anymore?
I think it's certain pilot decks you should be... Like, if you're playing the Millennium Falcon, get out and push, yeah, he's a 3 of. Right? Because that +1 turns into a +2. And I think that is worth it to then throw on, like, Chewbacca and whoever else you'd like to throw on. Probably Han Legendary to make that a perfect combo there. But, in certain decks, he just kind of empties my hand faster than I want. But maybe that 1 damage makes a difference. Who knows?
Didn't some of our, not necessarily the attack damage, the just
Health.
0 cost for +1/+1, like the extra health a lot of times was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I got the answer. Oh, now you have 5 health. Okay, I don't have an answer.
That
to
also hinges on me drawing Chewie, so... Yeah.
Well, no, there was even one where it was like, I don't remember what I had in the game that we were playing, but I was like, all right, I've got the answer. I think like I played an A-Wing or something, and then you played like a black 1, and then played the R2. So then I was like, oh, I had initiative. I was going to be able to open attack, kill it, and now I can't because it has 4 health. Then next turn you played a Chewie on it. So I was like, if that R2 wasn't in your hand,
that's where R2 gets you. He makes it
Yep.
so that you can't get that trade in space.
Yep.
But obviously, like if you take if you're playing Wedge, you've also got Nia Nub and Biggs that can do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I still do like R2 in that deck just because, again, as you mentioned, if you're running Millennium Falcon, get out and push, you're like, yeah, so you get an extra pilot on the thing that just gets more things for pilots. Sure.
Yep.
That's how, R2 on that is how I was getting it to the 14, attack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, I got another overrated card.
Yep.
Red Squadron Y-Wing. I thought it was going to be another not staple necessarily, 2 cost play, but I thought it was going to be one that like it was going to round out your 2 costs in these piloting decks. I think it can in maybe like a loop deck. I think it's a different style of deck, maybe like a deck playing Tarkin Town. That's a little bit of a different thing. But it was a very, very early quick cut in my Wedge deck.
Yeah.
I was just like, it doesn't. It's like awkward. You got to play like bigs on it to get it up to 3 attack, because if it's only at 2 attack, it's not doing much of anything as far as like being able to attack into other units. So that was one that I was slightly disappointed in, because when you're just looking at it, you're like, all right, 2 costs and it deals 4 damage. You're like, all right, that's pretty good, and it can be, but it's also like
the fact that 3 of it's indirect makes
it a little sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's come in and out of my like Quinlan deck as I've been just trying new cards. I've pretty much just gone back to the same turn 1 plays I had last set with
Yeah.
L3, Crafty, Sabine, and the A-Wing. Just similar issues to you. Like even with the Tarkin Town, I was like, I'm pinging, at least with Voss, like I'm pinging anyways.
Yeah.
It didn't feel, and just having like a 1/3 that could die if I don't have initiative and not trade into literally anything was frustrating. And I know A-Wing has that same ability, but I could at least potentially
A-Wing can attack into something and kill it.
it could kill like another A-Wing or something. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah.
a mirror match or like a Sabine match where the
Where you're on
the
the
Y-Wing,
defensive.
I could attack into the A-Wing and it just puts like 1 indirect on it, 2 on base, and then it actually probably wouldn't do anything. Just take the 3 and then trade back, and you have a board and I don't.
Yeah.
All right. Another one that I have, also potential spicy take, is Blue Leader.
Shut your mouth, first of all.
That's
That's incredible.
You are a liar.
Again, one of the cards that I think still ends up being good. I still play it in several decks, but 3/3 ambush has just gotten a lot worse at 3 resources, and I know it has the flexibility, and the flexibility is very nice, and which keeps it playable for me. But I'm just like, there's so many times where my opponent opens up just like a 3/2 in space, like the new Phoenix A-Wing or like Kylo's TIE Fighter, or just some of these other units where I'm like a 3/3. I feel like I'm just dying to like a stiff breeze, not like getting some of the advantage that I would hope to from this, or I just can't even ambush because it's just like trading.
Play Rose.
Yeah. I mean, ambush with Rose is obviously
No, I feel like Fireball might be a better card sometimes than this.
Yeah, I mean in Kaz, yeah, because that costs 1 less. Fireball's a little tougher outside Kaz. Because then it's all like,
because it
if it kills a 2 attack unit, it dies in the regroup phase.
Yeah,
Fireball.
but you're saving a resource.
Yeah, you're doing it a turn earlier.
And a turn earlier, you can kind of nullify
Avoid
instead
pilots.
of well, and also like instead of if you're playing it on turn 2, you're gonna lose out on your blue leader and your next play, right? Whereas both you kind of go into the next round with nothing.
Yeah,
as far as Fireball goes, so you're still losing it either way, but.
I mean, at Blue Leader's still really good. I've almost loved it more at 5 for like a 5/5 ambush that like they don't expect sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the base 3/3 ambush has left me just a little bit to be desired.
Blue Leader was going to be in my underrated cards. Just because of the flexibility that it has, the fact that like I treat it as a 5-cost unit. That's what I look at it as. Like it is a 5-cost unit. It is a 5/5 with ambush on ground. That's really how I look at it. And then there are occasions where it's like, all right, it's my 3 resource play, or that ambush is relevant because I don't want something. I'm protecting my Falcon. I'm protecting something more important. So it's actually been my favorite like ship card added to the set because being the 5/5 with ambush on ground when you're primarily focused on space, you can catch your opponent like really with their pants down a little bit, where you kill like their 2-drop, their 3-drop, even their 4-drop, and you're still there with like 1-2 health, and they don't have anything in ground because they've been trying to deploy to deal with your space onslaught.
And then you slap wedge on them.
I have never. I don't think I've put a pilot on it. I think I put a pilot on it once, and I think it was wedge because the math just made sense. It made it so like his leader couldn't attack into it. But it's a ship that I've very much like. It's probably one of the things that like playing it multiple times in a game usually means I'm winning that game.
Yeah.
But that's in a wedge deck, so there's
Yeah. My application. I'm trying to think some of the decks like that I've been playing that I just haven't loved it. Just like I've been playing a little bit of Luke Green.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing like Sabine ECL a little bit, and at least both of those instances I haven't necessarily.
We're talking Luke, like
Luke 1.
Luke. Luke 1. Okay.
Yeah, Luke 1. Yeah, no, I haven't played the new Pilot Luke like at all. I think I tried it against you, Brian. I did the Tarkin Town. I just wasn't huge on it.
Yeah.
I can see the value of things and the plays that it can make with the fighter pings and whatnot, but for me, I was just like, yeah.
I think they're
Because you're
I think
playing a
they're
lot of
fun.
Quinlan, like
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing that
You're-
better in a different.
you're pinged out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So underrated blue leader for Scott.
Do we have any? Other
yeah,
overrated
we got a
cards?
2-for-1 in that one.
We got a 2-for-1 in that one.
Yeah, 2-for-1. I'll throw out an underrated.
Go
Go ahead.
well,
Jeff.
before I still at least have another overrated
Go ahead.
before we swap over. Flock, did you have any other overrateds?
I had a cheeky one that really annoyed me.
Go for it.
The Death Star plans.
You overrated that?
I thought it would be somewhat viable, maybe. Even
Yeah,
in
that's
like
on you, bud.
even in limited,
It's an unforced error.
it's really not. It's literally awful.
Hey, it's S tier in Twin Sons
It's
for silly.
It's literally it's literally
Tier
awful.
for silly.
You mean it's Jar Jar tier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I guess if I just have the last one, I'll say Poe. I went back and part of my because I had a leader and underrated that I will get to. So I was like, let me go back and look at our tier list, and I don't remember where I put Poe specifically, but we had him I think like top of A, and I think he just is not there.
I wasn't on that tier list.
Yeah, Scott actually texted me and was like, you have to put Poe.
It's a lie.
Yeah, I mean, because he's got some just like powerful plays of like always having a pilot on demand and like being able to keep redoing it, and then like the eject like combo that he has turn 2 and stuff. But he like I feel like Wedge has the ability to like go a bit more wide and play more. Like almost a board with Wedge is like 2 ships and both have pilots on them. Like you kind of have like 2 threats.
Happens a lot.
Whereas Poe, I kind of feel like I don't know. It felt harder to like go wider with him and have like effective abilities, and also like he doesn't synergize with like R2 because he's attaching. He's not being played. So if R2's on there, you can't attach Poe to it.
Yeah, that little bit of Nambos kind of stinks.
Yeah, and it's like because we talked about like with R2, like some of the nice parts was just like the incremental value you could get until like you then deploy and have like this big unit or something. But yeah, Poe is just like, yeah, just doesn't see. I think piloting and stuff like I think Wedge is probably just like a better unless you absolutely need like ECL and you want a pilot deck, then I could see taking Poe over Wedge. But Wedge has impressed me more. But also none of us have really played Poe. I think since like
I
a
played
few
Poe
weeks ago.
for 2 minutes.
Yeah, you crushed me. Wait a minute. Yeah, Brian crushed me.
I really enjoyed the time.
That was the R2 Chewbacca games.
Yeah. It was goofy. It was goofy, and it was over in a second. So like, it can be good. I think that it just needs to be played a certain way.
But I also don't think Poe did anything.
And by that I mean, not with Poe. I think just putting Chewbacca on a ship is devastating. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the leader.
Yeah.
But
yeah, both games he was like a blank leader, and then you deployed a 4/6, and like that was just the extent of what he did.
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah. Any other overrated? And we'll try to breeze through the under. We're just under an hour.
No.
Nope.
Flock, what's an underrated? Did you have one?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
The Gorilla Soldier.
Ooh, Gorilla Soldier. Yeah.
I think it's
The 3-drop?
it's such a very good card. In limited and even in like I think in gonna be in like actual it's gonna be in a lot of decks, especially aggro decks. Like it's just so good. So
Which one is this?
This is
the 3-drop 2/3
2/3
deal 3 indirect.
and
it goes to
if
base
any of
ready.
the damage goes to base ready.
Yeah, that's a really
so
good
you
card.
can basically play that to kill if you have the initiative going in the turn 2 and you play that, you potentially can just either kill their unit or they decide to keep their unit and then they put to the base, but then you get to ready it. So like,
Is that
right?
Underworld? Can you play that with?
No, it's Twi'lek Trooper
Twi'lek?
something. I think.
Is it
right?
Fringe?
Yeah, trust me,
Trooper?
you can't play it with Cat. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it'd be a pretty good one if you can get in Django.
I'll say it's interesting in
Even
Boba, definitely.
Yeah,
I could see Django liking it.
yeah, or even just anything aggro. Like, it's just I think it's just a really good card.
3 out of 3 of mine are red villain. So
Interesting.
I'll just throw it out there. First one, General Pride, the Ali Giant himself, baller card. I knew he was gonna be like good, but slapping a Pride down turn 1 and then turn 2, hitting you for 4 indirect or 2 and 2.
Especially
oh my God,
like
that
yeah,
adds
if you have
up so
initiative.
fast. If you don't take that thing out, you are eating a lot of damage, especially in a Boba deck. 5 on turn 1. And you can defeat a non-unique upgrade on it on a thing that you've done indirect damage to, which I don't know how often is going to matter. But like shields and experience count.
Yeah.
So you can sneak something out there, and I think people forget that first part of the card pretty often, where it's like, oh yeah, there is another part where I can defeat. So sneaky.
Very, very sneaky.
An underrated card that I have that has shot up in the last 2 days for me. Second to bottom on our legendary tier list.
Oh God, shut up.
Unity
Shut up.
of Purpose.
Again, I was not on this tier list.
It was. Would you have had it higher?
Unity of Purpose, I would have had higher than you guys had. Yes.
Yeah, we had it. I think like definitely above Nebula. I don't remember. Probably above Death Star plans, unless you're Flock. Then Unity Power. Unity Power. I've been playing that Rex Droid Factory deck.
So dumb.
And it's just like Brian got it. Brian got he felt the unity, bro.
I was
power.
digging. I was digging for an overwhelming barrage, and I couldn't find it. And all of a sudden, he had like a battle droid was like a 6'10", and I was like, I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah. I do struggle to see its applications like outside of that. Like the fact that Rex can deploy and give you 3 of the units, or like +3 right there to 40 different units.
Yeah, I mean it's a very, very narrow case legendary, but it does have a use case, and some other legendaries don't really have use cases.
Yeah. Because at first I was like, just play attack pattern Delta, but then it was like, you get this off for +4 on like 5 different units, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I see why this is a little, in some situations just better than attack pattern Delta.
So dumb.
I think I sent like a photo to the Discord like earlier today of just like a board state. Yeah, I had an 8-11 of that Fleet Admiral that has Raid 1. I was
like sitting there, I was like, how did this happen? I was like, oh, Unity of Purpose. That makes sense.
7-9 Hu Yang, 7-11 Rex, a 7-8 Clone Trooper, and 2 6-7 Battle Droids.
So dumb. So dumb.
Yeah.
So we had what, 27,
21 plus not
30,
42.
42 damage on the board.
Yeah, because the Fleet Admiral has Raid 1 on him.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
So dumb.
And it's just like, what stops that in that moment? Like, obviously, yes, keep the board cleared before that, but it's like, if they can play Unity of Power and get 6 units that big.
War Juggernaut.
Yeah, Boba deployed with War Juggernaut.
Django deployed with the War Juggernaut.
Sorry, yeah. You meant what I know. All right. Any other underrateds?
I'll let those 2 go first. I have 2 more.
Yeah, I got 2 more as well.
No, I really don't have another. Like, Blue Leader was the only one that I've been like, this has been surprisingly, like, it went from, this is a good card that's going into decks to, like, this is my favorite card that I see. And that's really, like, the only one that I've had.
We totally swapped. I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to put in everything. And then I'm like, yeah, it's a good card. It's still going in decks, but.
Flock? No, I'm almost.
He said the 2 cards that he knew. He knew
cool.
Death Star plans.
I was told 3. I didn't know it was 3 of each. I thought it was just 3 total cards. So I have 3 total cards.
He can't read.
That tracks.
So.
All right, I'll hit my next one. It's a removal card, Blue Hero. You're all clear, kid. Just 2 cost, and this hits like pretty much every first turn play in space Defeat an enemy space unit with 3 or less remaining HP. If you do, and an opponent controls no space units, you may give an experience token to a unit. So sure, if you rip it turn 1, you don't get the XP, but I think Blue Hero just kind of needed something like this. And I have started experimenting with it, and I currently have it as a 3 of in some of my decks. Not necessarily going to say it stays that way, but it's certainly a card that I was like, all right, this is definitely helping me deal with space in some of these decks. Like even the Luke deck. Blue green definitely can have some good options of like Concord Dawn, Blue Leader, Bright Hope, Restored Arc, just some other cards in there, plus good pilots on them. But just having this has been pretty nice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
it's like a blue version of Shootdown.
Shootdown is another one.
Yeah,
Shootdown is amazing card.
I think that's just a more like apparently good card.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. That was gonna be one of mine, but I was like,
because that's always got upside generally.
Yeah,
like they're both 3 or less. One is always going to deal 2 to base. The other one you might get XP from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Von Reg's TIE Interceptors really impressed me. There's so many ways to boost the power of that you're almost pretty much always guaranteed raid 1 at 6. Most pilots give you 3. Well, not most pilots give you 3, but a lot of if you were to put Von Reg's TIE out and then slap a Vader on it, turn after that, then you've got what?
You could just deploy Von Reg if you're playing Von Reg.
Yeah.
With him, yeah.
So you've got if you're doing Vader, it's a 7 or it's a 6 with raid and raid 1 and overwhelm plus on attack and deal damage and blah,
plus
blah,
the
blah,
pings,
other stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's great to clear stuff out if you can let it survive. Otherwise, I mean, I think it's just beefy.
Yeah.
Beefy boy.
Beefy boy.
I dig it, and the prestige looks great.
Good stat line in space.
Yeah.
All right, and then I guess I'm just the one with the last one, and since I did a leader,
I was letting you go first.
Oh, you have another one after me? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Is Boba Fett leader? We thought he was going to be fine, middle of the pack, but
again, I was not on that tier list.
he's been really good.
Yeah,
I feel like
cool.
Scott loves that strategy though, of if he can't do the tier list and then can just come back and be like, you guys are idiots.
Plausible deniability.
I need to do that. All right, I'm off the next one.
Flock, you're the whole reason we do tier lists.
You are the tier list.
But yeah, I mean, just just being unsure of how good indirect could be, it certainly adds up. And then his deploy is just kind of what started to make me be like, all right, this is just really good. Just being able to clean up the board of wherever they were flipping their indirect at. And then it's if they're playing a tap down deck or, something like that, 4/7 ground at 6, it's, it's not amazing, but it's fine.
It'll do enough.
Yeah. So yeah, he did. I think we maybe had him middle of B or something like that, top of B, something like that. And I mean, he would probably shoot up to top of A. Maybe not as good as what we have. I think we had Piet and Kaz as the top 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's either with them at the bottom of S or at the top of A. He's I think he's in contention for one of the better ones. Also helps that he has a good matchup in theory to Django as well.
Also showcases fire.
Showcases
that
good.
Is true.
Probably the best showcase this set, I'd say. One of the best. Maybe not the best. That's a good segue actually, because my next card is No Disintegrations, which has Boba on it. But No Disintegrations is great. If you're playing Red Villain, I feel like you should at least sideboard these. These are amazing into Piet. If you are hitting the oh crap button and he drops something huge and he takes out something that you didn't want to lose. This is especially good in Vader 1. If you know Disintegrations and then ping it afterwards. I mean, it's
2 actions to kill.
It clears everything. Yeah, the only problem is that it's non-leader, but that's totally fine. You've got other ways of dealing with leader units usually. But I think this has been an all-star for sure, and it's a special rarity. So that's love when the special rarities come in clutch. Chewbacca, No Disintegrations. That's it though.
Yep.
I feel
it's in my side for Boba.
Yeah. feel like
The only
Bosk
direct
hasn't gotten a
offer.
lot of spotlight. Speaking of, special rarity, I feel like everyone was pretty high on Bosk, and then he kind of got forgotten.
Oh no, I was never excited for Bosk.
Oh, really? I thought
No.
Bosk was neat.
If he could exhaust anything, like sure, but it's this defender.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you just say that's it for special rarity in the set? As far
That
as
I
like,
was
good
excited
cards?
about.
You weren't excited for Millennium Falcon?
Falcon.
Oh shoot, that's one of my favorite cards of this set. Yeah, that's funny.
I think
Yeah.
I think Bosk, Never Tell Me the Odds, and Shuttle are like the 3 misses, but then the other 5 I think are playable to really good.
Houndstooth is interesting.
Yeah, Houndstooth is just like kind of fine. Like
Yeah.
it has a decent ability and like a 4/3 in space if you're going like an aggro shell or something. Like could be good. At least feels somewhat playable. Not as good as Fire Sprayer Falcon, but better than Shuttle in a vacuum.
Agree.
Cool. All right, we're over an hour, so we'll just kind of ignore the like tournament rags. And basically, the only thing you really need to know is there's no double loss. There is now draws, and you can even intentional draw and stuff like that. So you can head to their website to check that out. But that's something that you should be aware of going forward into some of these events.
Definitely should be aware of it.
Yeah.
It's going to vastly change the landscape of that last round.
Yep. Some of the like tidbits of that are in the tournament regulations about like when you can, when you can't. Only permitted during Swiss rounds. Only if both players agree. Players can intentionally draw after setting up the first game, so you can't like draw your hands and then be like, "Hey, do you want to intentionally draw?" after seeing what your mulligan was or something. And you also can't offer it in exchange for any reward or incentive. And we'll kind of see how it plays out of like how you can discuss that, because I know obviously or the previous ones, since there was double loss and no way to intentionally draw, you only could concede and you couldn't like ask for concessions before, or you could get a game loss or DQ'd for that. So we'll just have to see how they tackle that a little bit, because right now I believe it's inconsistent, because I still think it's the wording of you can't talk about it, but then
Don't talk about Bruno.
Like, you might need to have a way to at least somewhat talk about an intentional draw.
Yeah.
But also,
hey, I heard intentional draws are legal now.
Anybody? Did you hear that? My opponent? Do you know? Yeah.
Big old nod.
Little boon for I mean, the fact that draws in general can happen. A little boon for control decks.
You mean for Flockton?
For Flockton on
Hey.
control decks.
I don't really play control decks anymore.
No, we know.
I
we
wonder
saw.
why.
We saw why you don't. My favorite was that you're like, that guy played so slow, it was terrible. And then Scott played, and we're like, yeah, I was done in like 25 minutes with him. We played 3 games.
No, game 1 it actually was. I think it was his first time playing. It was his friend's deck.
Likely story.
Okay,
Sus.
Sounds like a Flockton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just slow.
I'm gonna leave that one.
All right, we're gonna wrap up. We're over an hour. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Check us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, YouTube, obviously, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those places. And feel free to join our Discord. We've been talking more and more about Set 4 decks and stuff like that. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
No.
Cool. I'll catch y'all next time.
Lando.
There's-
Land.